It's our favorite complete recipe collection filled with mouth-watering homemade dishes featuring breads, breakfasts, appetizers, lunch dinners, and desserts. Get out your measuring cups, mixer, and chopping board. The Home and Backyard Cookbook begins right now. Thanksgiving is the perfect holiday. It's good food and family together enjoying a meal. But sometimes it could be stressful with all that preparation and all we have to do. And I'm here with Chef Dave Simonelli of Arant's Restaurant in Duryea. So you're going to make one of the side dishes that you offered.
Yep, this is the bacon Gouda mac and cheese. Some of you might be familiar with this from the actual Arant's menu. It's one of the few things that's always on there. First, we start off by cooking off some pasta. This is already prepared ahead of time. The salted water, cook it off until it's al dente.
Right.
Then we got some rendered bacon here. Basically, you just cook down your bacon, cut it in small pieces, cook it down, get it nice and crispy, and then just pour off the excess fat. Over here, we have a preheated pan, some heavy cream that we're gonna put in there to start the bechamel sauce. Have it at like a medium-low heat. I'll keep it real low till I get everything in there. This particular one is made with a Maker's Mark whiskey barbecue. This is a homemade barbecue sauce we made using Maker's Mark. We start it and finish it with the whiskey, so you actually taste the whiskey in it.
Oh, wow.
This is actually just a little sriracha. Sriracha is pretty convenient, pretty trendy right now, so we'll use that. This is like a homemade compound butter we make at the restaurant. We use it in a couple dishes. We actually finish steaks with it also. And last but not least, we got a little spice blend here. This is like a smoky mesquite spice, dried flat leaf parsley, and some Devo spice, which is like a small blend of like aromatic spices and a little savoriness to it. So once we get everything in there, we'll turn it up just a little bit and then start whisking it up. It's kind of
nice and creamy.
Yeah, let it bubble up, let the flavors fuse together. So now we got this bechamel working, starting to bubble up. Once it starts to thicken up, we'll add, this is a gemelli pasta, but you can use whatever is your favorite. We also got some smoked Gouda cheese blend. This is actually blended with some mozzarella, just to give it a nice meltiness, smoked Gouda for the flavor. More cheese, the merrier. And then last but not least, the rendered bacon. So we'll just fold that all together. Gets nice and thick and bubbly. Let it go for like maybe another minute, and then we'll be ready to eat it.
We have another terrific side dish for you that's offered on the menu, right?
Yes, we do.
Right.
Roasted Brussels sprouts with some sweet stewed onions, and then port wine shallot butter. Just cut the ends off, and there's a little like core on the bottom, so you want to cut that off just so you don't eat something too crunchy. So basically, we'll just cut all these in half.
Okay. Now you have some really unique items on the menu for Thanksgiving, not just your traditional turkey.
We got one thing we created. It's called a turporky. I had to sit there and think about that for a minute. It's a spin-off of like the turducken. I don't know if you're familiar with that. It's like a Louisiana Cajun type dish. They debone the turkey, they debone a duck, and then a chicken, they stuff it. Well, our variation is just a deboned turkey with the pork loin in it. So right now we have all our Brussels sprouts cut up, just drizzled with a little poached garlic oil we make at the restaurant, just to give it a little coating. This is I call it a Mediterranean spice. I have all these spice blends. Get them all coated nice. Then we'll take our oil, drizzle it on a half sheet tray or whatever you plan on baking your Brussels sprouts on.
Right.
Just rub it in there a little bit. You could use pan spray too if you don't want to use oil. I'll put them flat side down just to get a nice little, kind of a sear, I guess you could say, once they start baking. Then I'll give them like a little moisture. Usually at the restaurant we use vegetable stock. Today I brought some chicken stock. Whatever suits you is fine. And then we put them in the oven, 350, and they'll cook for about 25-30 minutes until they're tender.
Okay, Dave, looks like it's all done.
Yeah, so after the Brussels sprouts were roasting, we actually tossed them in a bowl with some onions that we stewed previously beforehand. Tossed a little port wine shallot butter, and then just warmed it up.
So I'm gonna give this a try because this looks really delish. Oh my God, that has so much flavor. That is excellent. Little bit of kick to it too.
Yeah.
Thanks again, Dave. But we're not done because you also are offering delicious desserts too, right?
Yes, we are. My partner in crime, Jay of Meal Prep Grind, has an apple pear pie that he's about to prepare for you.
I'm here with Jay Rakovich, and he is the chef and owner of Meal Prep Grind. You're going to make dessert for us for Thanksgiving, right?
We're going to make the best dessert for you for Thanksgiving. It's a tweak on an apple pie. It's an apple and pear pie that I've been making for a dozen years now, and it's a family favorite. We have some beautiful local apples. I have Cortlands, I have Galas, and I have Fuji's. And we're just going to peel them all first. We have a nice combination of soft and firm, tangy and sweet. The real trick for apple pie is just getting a real nice variety of apples. Picking the best ingredients is really everything when you're making anything at home. If you really want it to stand out as an apple pie, best thing you could do is get a couple of different types of apples. We are using Bosc pears as well as Seckel pears. They're those tiny little pretty ones.
Yeah.
They're the sweetest, most delicious pears you'll ever have.
Yum. We're going to offer several desserts, and this actually is one of the desserts on the menu that you're going to offer, right?
It is. We're also doing a gorgeous pumpkin pie with a buttercrumb cookie topping.
Oh my goodness.
And we're doing a cherry and pecan rice pudding as well. And then Dave has his family pumpkin rolls, so
Wow.
it's gonna be something.
So you have all these different things to select, and you can get it right there. You don't even have to lift a finger.
Absolutely.
Except to cut it.
They'll come to your house ready to go. You just pull them right out of the fridge and pretend you made it yourself.
I like that.
Now once all our pears and apples are peeled, we'll just cut them all up. We cut them in kind of like thin little strips so that they stack up really nice. Next thing that we're gonna do is dust them with a little bit of cornstarch. Now that'll help the pie from getting all watery. We wanna do that first to make sure that all the apples have a nice coating. And then we're gonna toss it with some raw sugar and a little bit of cinnamon. Now, we have two different types of cinnamon that we use over here. There's that real cinnamon that has almost a spicy flavor to it. And then there's that pumpkin pie cinnamon that you're all super familiar with.
Yeah.
The next thing that we're gonna do is take a little bit of our raw organic sugar and sprinkle that on. And we're only gonna use about a half a cup of sugar for the pie, because these apples are so nice and sweet that we don't want to cover up the flavor. Now we're going to take a couple little cubes of butter, and we're just going to sprinkle these in, and I'm using a really nice grass-fed butter here. It makes all the difference too. The quality of ingredients really is the most important thing. So we're gonna take our blind bake pie shell here. Now that's a pie shell that we've already rolled out and formed and baked in the oven for about 10 minutes to help the bottom pie shell set.
Oh,
that way we won't have a soggy bottom in our pie.
Oh, nice.
Now we're gonna take our apples and pears and we're just gonna layer them in and stack them nice and gently in small layers here and tuck them ever so delicately into the edges. And then we're gonna dust with just a little bit of our pumpkin pie sugar. So this is filled with those two types of cinnamon and a little bit of nutmeg and clove to help really bring around the flavor.
Yummy.
We'll put another layer of apples and another layer of our nice pumpkin sugar. Now we're gonna top it off with a nice big
Another
pie
layer?
Oh, another big layer.
I love it. Now this is a pie.
Now this is how we make an apple and pear pie. So now that we've got everything all lined up, our last step is topping it with a nice beautiful pie crust here. So we're just gonna lay this right over the top.
Beautiful. I love the way you have it all scored there.
Crimp it
Looks so
around
pretty.
the edge lightly. And then we'll pop it in the oven at about 325 degrees for about 45 minutes to an hour until it's a beautiful, beautiful golden brown.
Nice.
There we go. So now this is just about ready. We'll pop a little hole right in the top and then it goes into the oven. So when it comes out, it'll look just like this beautiful one right
Look
over
at
here.
this is
and I've already
fabulous.
cut you a slice.
Oh,
Here you are.
thank you. And
very
I
welcome.
lucky me, I get to taste it. Jay, that is so good.
Thank you, thank you.
Oh, it's delicious. Thank you so much, and please have a beautiful Thanksgiving holiday.
Thank you.
Well, it's almost turkey time, and everybody needs that perfect stuffing recipe for their Thanksgiving dinner, right, Christina?
Absolutely.
And you have one for us.
I do. This is my family's stuffing recipe. Whether you call it stuffing or dressing
Right,
or in the
right.
bird or out of the bird, this is what we've made for generations, and
Nice.
now I make it for my family.
Excellent. Well, I guess we can get started.
Yep, so this is pretty basic. The first thing I did was I cut up 3 loaves of regular plain old sandwich bread.
All right.
And that's right here. I did this a couple days ago. So
Okay.
it's sitting out, it got nice and dry and crispy because that's going to help the bread absorb all the other flavors we're gonna add to it.
Nice.
To our skillet here, I'm going to add a bunch of butter.
All right.
Because butter makes it better. So I know it looks like a lot, but we're making a lot of stuffing here. This is enough to feed like 10 people.
Nice, okay.
So to this, we're gonna start building the flavor. So that starts with onions.
Which smells so good with the butter.
I know. And then to this, we're going to add some celery. So everything's in a pretty fine dice. And the sizes are about the same of the onions and celery. And then to that, we're going to add some sage. And this is why I call it sage and onion stuffing, because we're really gonna amp that up.
Oh wow, yeah, we're using, quite a bit.
A lot of sage, right? This is one of those seasonings that tends to sit in your pantry, except for the holidays.
Right? I know.
We're using it.
We're giving it some love today.
We are. We're giving it some love. And then we're going to add some poultry seasoning here. And I have a recipe for a homemade poultry seasoning on my website, so you can grab that there.
Okay.
And we'll just get all of this stirred together.
Do you have any preference whether you do like to make the stuffing in the bird or just in a separate pan?
I love it in the bird.
Do you really?
I love it in the bird. It gets a flavor that I don't think you can get in a baking dish.
Right.
So I always do both because you can't fit all the stuffing in the bird. It only holds a small amount. So I do make both. Okay, so we have our dried out bread and it's nice and you can hear it nice and crispy. Want all that moisture out of there.
You just use regular white bread, right?
Plain old white bread.
Love it.
I've tried it using all different types. My family really likes the plain white bread. And I know this looks like a lot, but it will squish down. It's kind of like when you're cooking spinach.
Yeah, exactly.
All right, so I'm gonna hold about half of this second tray back. We're going to start getting all the flavors in here and then we'll add this at the end. It just adds some extra texture.
Okay.
So I'm going to add our cooked onions and celery to the bowl. All that butter in there.
Looks good.
This is Thanksgiving right here.
Yes, it is.
Now to this, we're going to season it up quite a bit. Now it might look like I'm using a lot of my all-purpose seasoning or salt and pepper if that's what you have, if that's what you prefer using, but this is a lot of stuffing.
Yeah. And you want it to be flavorful.
Right, you don't want it under-seasoned. And then we're gonna add a little bit more of that poultry seasoning and then turkey stock. So I'm just gonna pour some of that over. And this is going to break down some of that bread, get it nice and squishy, let it start absorbing all these other flavors. And then very carefully,
Yeah, you don't want to mess
stir it
up
all
those
together.
Yeah, you don't want to mess up that texture of the bread.
Yeah. Okay, so I find that the easiest way to do this is to just get in with your hands.
Okay.
Clean hands are your best kitchen tools.
Absolutely. So how do you know when it's ready?
Yeah, so you see me, I'm adding a little more stock here, and I go by feel, right?
Okay.
So it's a texture thing, because it depends on how dry your bread got while it was
Right.
sitting out.
So you don't want it to be like a complete mush.
No, you don't want complete mush, but you want it to, you see how it's breaking down in that full bowl, which is why I
Right.
saved some of it. You just want different textures throughout, but the wetter the bread from the stock, it's going to absorb the other flavors more. And that's why I find getting it with my hands, I
Yeah,
can
it's the
feel
best
it.
way. Right.
Okay, so I'm gonna add the rest of this bread, maybe a little more stock, and then we'll go ahead and finish it up.
Okay.
All mixed up, we're going to butter our baking dish. So I just have a stick of butter. We just don't want anything to stick. So I'm literally just up the sides, on the bottom.
Now, do you ever use like a nonstick cooking spray at all?
You could. I just love carrying the flavor of the butter through.
Right.
And then we are going to transfer this big bowl of stuffing.
That is a big bowl.
Like I said, it's gonna feed
A lot
at
of
least
people.
10 to 12 people.
Isn't that great? And of course, we need the leftovers. Hopefully, there's always leftovers,
The best
right?
part. So then, again, I'm just going in with my hands, just filling all those empty places. And you see by adding that stock, it made it nice and
Yeah,
workable.
totally.
And the best part is the top is gonna get nice and crispy while the inside gets nice and tender.
Nice.
Okay, so now we just need to pop this into a 350-degree oven, maybe 20, 30 minutes
Oh, that's
until
it.
it's just gotta warm through.
Great. Christina, this looks fantastic.
And it smells so good too.
It really does. And what a nice, simple recipe, but packs a great punch, right?
It does. There's layers and layers of flavor in there. It's simple yet classic.
Absolutely. Well, I think we should give it a try.
I think we should too.
Because it looks good. Oh, it's crispy on the top, which is really nice. This is delicious.
Thank you.
It has so much flavor. The bread really did absorb everything.
Didn't it?
A
It's
lot of
that
layers.
letting it toast and crisp up.
Thank you so much for sharing this recipe with us. We really appreciate it. And I know everyone loves to check out your website and to get all the recipes. And of course, this is on there as well.
Of course, yes. All my Thanksgiving recipes are on my website, www.itisakeeper.com.
Great. Christina, thank you so much. It's always so much fun to come over and cook with you.
Oh, my pleasure having you, Jackie.
Thank you, and have a great Thanksgiving.
You too.
Thanksgiving is all about the tradition of gathering together with our family and friends to share a meal and express our gratitude for all our blessings. And there's no one who loves tradition more than TJ Cusimano here at Cusimano. TJ, we're gonna start right from scratch, right?
Yeah, Thanksgiving 101. So to start a traditional Thanksgiving dinner, your day is gonna start with the stuffing preparation.
Yes.
And that's where we're gonna start today. And stuffing starts with onions, celery, and some apples. So we'll take the onion, we're gonna cut it in half and start a medium dice. And you're gonna do the same style of slicing with the apple.
All right.
So we're gonna cut onions and celery until we have about 2 cups of each, and we'll be happy with about 1 cup of apples.
All right.
And then for celery, we're gonna cut this into a similar size, but for that we'll take the rib, put the tip of the knife in the front, and drag it towards the back of the rib. And this is celery that we washed already. So once you get these celery pieces pulled down into strips, we're going to start to dice them. And we're going to chop the leaves just like we chopped every other part. The leaves have so much flavor and
kidding.
nutrients. So now we have our celery, we have our onions, we have our apples. I think we're ready to go over to the stove.
Sounds good.
So to start the stuffing, we're going to begin with a pan over medium heat. We're going to drizzle in some oil. We're going to add our sausage, begin to break up the sausage, and render out the pork fat. Once the meat is browned, we're going to start to add our vegetables, beginning with onions, celery, apples, and now we mix it all together. So now we're going to add dry sage, salt, pepper, dry thyme, and parsley. And this is when it starts to really smell good. So once the vegetables have softened, we'll add in 8 ounces of butter and 2 cups of chicken stock. Once the stuffing mixture comes to a rapid simmer, we turn off the heat, set it into a cool pan, and allow it to cool for 10 minutes before we mix it into our bread cubes.
Okay, we're ready for the stuffing, but there's some thought that has to go into that, right? Planning?
Absolutely. So these are our bread cubes, and as you can tell, they're like hard to the touch. So last night, we took our Texas toast style bread, we cut it into cubes, about 1 inch by 1 inch, and we let those sit on a sheet pan and dry overnight in just open air. Maybe even in your oven is a good place to dry it. We're gonna start in a large mixing bowl with about 10 cups of these Texas toast cubes. And while I mix this, you're going to get a ladle full of the stuffing mixture and drizzle it over top. This is a great thing to do with the family. And the idea of 2 people doing this is so that no set of bread cubes gets too saturated too fast.
Oh, I got you.
We want them to still have their figure about them. We don't want them to turn to just a bowl of mush.
So TJ, how do you know what size turkey to get and how much are we making here?
So what we figure on is for a family of about 8, you probably want about a 15 to 16 pound turkey. The turkey that we're doing today is a Paulman's turkey, which is a very special turkey because it's a locally raised turkey that comes from Clarks Summit, Pennsylvania. The Paulmans are a great family.
Yes.
And they raise great birds.
Okay, so now you're going to clean the turkey, right?
Exactly. So we have to be very important to sanitize the sink before we even let the turkey touch it.
Okay.
So start just by putting a little dish detergent in the sink, not too much or you'll make too much suds. Hot water. Every part that the turkey may touch has to be scrubbed with a stainless steel scouring pad or something similar that's abrasive.
Okay.
And now we rinse down all the suds into the drain. So now we're going to take our fresh turkey, place it in the sink. So we pierce the hole into the center where there's no meat around. Never pierce anywhere on the breast because you'll score the turkey itself. So we're going to open the plastic, let all the juices flow down the sink. We're going to reach into the turkey and take out the giblets, which are inside the cavity. And Jackie, I'm gonna have you take the kosher salt. So all this salt is gonna get rinsed off. This is to get all the blood off the turkey. We pour it into the cavity. Make sure you get behind the wings. And now we're gonna rinse the turkey with cold water. So the salt for this purposes is not salting the food. It's more making sure the turkey is very clean of all that blood that it's packed in. And once we do that, put it in our pan. Now we're gonna go back over and pat it dry, and we'll begin to season it.
Sounds good.
It's pretty simple. We're just gonna take the bird, tip it up like that so the cavity is exposed.
Right.
We're gonna take a handful of stuffing, we're gonna go straight in and let it fall in. We never pack it down, we just let it be natural inside there.
Okay.
So now we're gonna tie the legs.
Okay. So
And we're gonna just tie a simple knot right around them. I'll hold the legs and you're gonna tie just a basic knot right around. Pull it really tight and those strands could hang down. We'll cut those later.
Yes.
And what I do next is just take a little more stuffing and put it in the center here, and we're gonna begin to salt the turkey. So you're gonna take your fingers and just sprinkle right over the top, okay? And don't be afraid, you can put quite a bit on. This is a 20-pound bird, so it's gonna take quite a bit of salt to season the inside of it.
Oh, I got you, I see.
And now pepper. Okay, so now that you've done that, to properly roast this turkey, we want to get it above the liquid that it's going to cook in, because eventually this turkey is going to lose a lot of its water and it's going to sit at the bottom of this pan. And if we do that, the turkey is going to effectively steam, which is not what we want. We want it to roast. You could use a roasting rack, but we have celery and carrots here, and that's what we're going to make a rack out of.
Oh, fun.
Now we're going to take our celery and we're going to turn it like this on an angle.
Nice.
We can take these carrots and add them under there for more stability.
Yes. All right.
So we take the whole turkey, set it right on the rack. Now we're going to take our butter, which we melted previously, and we're going to pour the butter right over the whole top of the turkey. So now we're going to take our paprika, and we're going to sprinkle the paprika right over the top, nice and light. Yep. So now we're ready to put it in the oven at 375 for 15 minutes per pound, which is going to bring this to about 4 hours.
Okay, wow.
So now that the turkey's in the oven, Jackie, we can begin our smaller tasks. And we'll start with our homemade cranberry sauce.
Sounds good. Can't
Let's
wait.
go over to the stove.
Okay.
We're gonna start with whole cranberries, 8 cups, 2.5 cups of cold water, 1 cup of orange juice, 1 cup of diced apples, 4 tablespoons of brown sugar, 1 tablespoon of orange zest, and the juice of 1 fresh orange. And now we add 1.5 cups of sugar. Turn the heat on to medium and allow it to simmer until the cranberries burst and the sauce reduces into a thick, jelly-like consistency. So Jackie, after about 4 hours, this is our turkey.
Oh, it's a masterpiece. Look at how juicy it looks and shiny and crispy.
How we know it's done is by using a meat thermometer. That's the most tried and true way.
All right.
We're gonna make sure that the thigh, the thickest part of the thigh, reaches 180 degrees.
Okay.
The breast should reach about 170. And the inside of the stuffing here should temperature at 165. Once we take it out of the oven and it's reached those temperatures, we're gonna cover it with a little bit of tin foil and let it sit for about half an hour. So we're gonna take our butcher twine off that you tied before. So now we're gonna take the stuffing out.
Yes.
And make sure that you don't scrape the bottom of the rib cage when you're taking the stuffing out. Just leave that in there. You just wanna take gently the stuffing that's on top. So I would start by taking the breasts off. If you take the other parts off first, there's not as much stability in the carcass.
Oh, all right.
So we're gonna start by finding the breastbone, which is about right there. We go to the left or the right of it, and we make our first cut down and begin to turn the knife to ride that rib cage. And we're gonna score the skin, and this is the one side of our turkey here, and we're gonna cut straight down.
Oh, look at this. Looks so perfect.
The drumsticks should turn right off, and with a twist, they'll break right off.
Oh, they're perfect.
We're gonna display those.
Okay.
The wings should break right off. What's left is the 2 thighs, and they're right on the side here.
That's where all the dark meat
This is where all the beautiful dark meat is.
Yeah.
Now, this is not something to throw away. This is what you can make your turkey soup out of in the
Gotcha.
following days. And now we're ready to assemble our feast.
Beautiful. Well, TJ, we wish you and your family a very happy Thanksgiving.
And yours as well.
Thank you. We'll see you next time on the Home and Backyard Cookbook.